If you've been contemplating where you want to move in Idaho and you're thinking about relocating to Eagle, Idaho, this video is going to be just for you. We're going to be diving into the location, what it has to offer, and so much more. So make sure you guys stay tuned throughout this whole video, because I can guarantee you're going to be leaving it with more knowledge than you had before. So without further ado, let's get to the content. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am very excited to do this one because, as you guys know, Eagle, Idaho is a personal favorite city of mine. I've talked about it multiple times. It is definitely in my top 3 cities to live in the state of Idaho. And just from the luxurious lifestyle to the relaxed and just the high demand growth that is coming to Eagle, Idaho, I'm just very excited to talk about it. So without further ado, let's talk about where Eagle, Idaho is located at in proximity to Boise, right? So as far as where it is compared to Boise, if you put a clock on Boise, Idaho, as far as reference to where Eagle, Idaho is, Eagle, Idaho is about 10 to 11 o'clock looking at it. So it's only a couple minutes away from Boise. It's pretty centrally located. It's more of a suburban / urban mixed city. It's kind of a hybrid because it's close to everything, but it's far enough from everything to where you're not getting the big impact of being in a city. With that being said, it is located within Ada County, which is the same county as Boise, Meridian, and all those cities. So as far as locations, minutes from Boise, minutes from Meridian, you are easily accessible to anything that you need as far as amenities, healthcare, whatever that may be for you and your family. It's all relatively close. So you are in a great location when it comes to where it is currently sitting on the map. Eagle, Idaho did have origin as more of a farm city, but as it continued to grow and as it continues to develop, it is becoming a more and more highly sought after residential area because of its luxury lifestyle and even its small charming homes that they're developing out here. They're just absolutely beautiful. You really cannot go wrong choosing to purchase a home in Eagle, Idaho. So now when it comes to lifestyle, right? What is the lifestyle? What is the vibe it kind of gives off? What does it feel like when you live in Eagle? So when you live in Eagle, you kind of have like a close-knit community, right? It's not too big, but it's not too small, but they are close-knit. It's very friendly. You have low crime rates here in the area, and just overall the quality of life in Eagle, Idaho is just through the roof. And the reason why the quality of life is so much better in Eagle is because the people are friendly. There's so many events throughout the year, to include Eagle Fun Days Parade, which is just a couple days where they have parades, they have fireworks, they'll have a car show. There's so much more than just your typical parade. They really do go all out for this event, which I believe this year it'll be July 7th and 8th. Fact check me on that. Don't take my word for it. That is just off the top of my head, but I highly recommend you guys check that out. Some other things that they do here in Eagle, Idaho is going to be the Eagle Saturday Market. So that's more so for small businesses or local, artists / entrepreneurs, we'll call them, that come up with their own innovations or come up with their handcrafted soaps or handcrafted bracelets, whatever that may be. They bring it to this market, from foods to clothing to whatever you could imagine. It's all at this market, and it happens every Saturday, I believe, from March, April-ish to October, depending on when it starts to get cold, right? People don't want to be out there when it's freezing. But with that being said, it's highly recommended that you do check it out on my list. And then finally, for the Christmas enthusiasts, for those that really love that Christmas spirit, they have an Eagle Country Christmas. I feel like the name probably describes it enough for what I need to say about it, but it's just an all-out event, and I absolutely love what they do with all these different events and what they offer to the Eagle community, or just the city as a whole, and the different events and amenities. And just like I said, it all goes into having a higher quality of life. So with all those events going on and so many more, I would highly recommend you check those out. Now on to the next subject, but before we get into that, I do want to make sure that I let you guys know I am a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Idaho, and as much as I love making these videos for you guys, I would love to help you with your home buying needs. So please feel free to reach out at this phone number and email, call, text, email. I am the one that picks up and answers the phone and emails. So without further ado, let's talk a little bit about the housing market in Eagle, Idaho. The current market trend in real estate in Eagle, Idaho is very hot right now. People want to live here. People want to move here. People are coming from all over, from California, from Washington, from Colorado, from wherever it may be, and they are picking Eagle, Idaho because, as I've said, the higher quality of life, low crime, friendly people, just the overall experience of living in Eagle is far beyond most people's expectations, and that's why they end up staying here for such a long time. And with that, there's also a high demand as far as real estate, from luxury homes to, you know, cute single family homes. So overall, Eagle, Idaho is in dire need of more properties. Its inventory isn't even going to hold up to what the demand is looking like, and they are trying to get ahead of it. Overall, Eagle is just bound to grow, and people are loving it so much that they're needing to develop more real estate out here. For those of you that may be thinking about that and say, well, it sounds like they probably have multiple offer situations and XYZ. Yes, however, my personal tip, my personal advice for you guys as a professional real estate agent is going to be that there are certain seasons around different time frames, unless you cannot wait, around November to early spring. There's typically a slow, kind of like a holiday slowdown, and people don't typically pick up till Q2 of the year. So if you are looking to purchase and you don't want to deal with multiple offers, not saying that you may not run into the situation, but overall you could avoid that by purchasing around November to early spring time frame. Now, as we talked about the residential side of things, let's talk about cost of living in Eagle. So now in comparison, Eagle, Idaho is a little more expensive than your typical cities outside of Boise. So it's not going to be the same price as Meridian. It's not going to be the same cost of living as Nampa or Caldwell or wherever the other cities, because although it is not technically rural, it is still somewhat suburban. It does have a higher cost of living, but with that, because of the quality of life and just the amenities that add so much value to living in Eagle and the types of homes that they are developing in Eagle, the price point is a lot more expensive. So cost of living overall is more expensive, but you will truly see that value being reflected in the amenities that Eagle has to offer. Now let's talk a little bit about school and education of Eagle, Idaho. So as far as schooling, Eagle falls under the West Ada School District, which overall is actually ranked a lot higher, and it's a lot more desirable for a lot of people, and you can get some more of that and do a little more research. But one of those schools that are really making a difference is Galileo Magnet School, which is for pre-K to 8th grade. Galileo Magnet School, which is one of the top 1% schools in Eagle, Idaho. Now, as far as what the school or the type of schools look like in Eagle, you have everything from public to private to charter schools, and you have even a lot of people that are homeschooling, but everyone has their own philosophy as far as what they're teaching in the schools. I would highly suggest doing your research, as you wouldn't want to just throw your kid into school not knowing what they're learning, especially with as much that's going on today. I think it's more important than ever to see what they are teaching and their philosophies on life and things of that nature. So with that being said, make sure that you guys do your thorough review and find the right school for you and your moral compass. Now, something else I'm going to talk about today is employment, right? So Eagle, Idaho isn't too well known. It's not a big corporate city. It's more so small business owners or people that work from home, a lot of retail, and then obviously Idaho is such a big area for people that are in the healthcare business. So those are the main focuses as far as what employment looks like in Eagle. But with the growth that continues to develop in Eagle, Idaho, we're starting to see a lot more job opportunities pop up, and just endless opportunities just growing from, regardless of the industry that you're looking for, it is all coming. If it isn't available now, then we are expecting to see a lot more in the future. So now let's dive a little bit about the pros and the cons of living in Eagle, Idaho. So pros of Eagle, Idaho is going to be a growing economy, as we discussed earlier. Another pro is going to be low crime rates. Another pro is going to be endless amenities and just quality of life. And then we're also going to throw on their outdoor recreational activities, which we didn't dive into too much, but Eagle, Idaho does offer a lot of things such as trails. They have the Greenbelt, they have horseback riding, and they have so much more that they offer. You really don't have to go too far if you're into the outdoors or if you're into outdoor sports or in activities and things of that nature. Eagle does offer a good majority of what you could be looking for. Now let's talk a little bit about the cons. So one of the cons is going to be the low housing inventory. As I said, Eagle is in huge demand as far as supply, and it doesn't have enough homes to keep up with the demand. So with that being said, we're going to throw that as a con. And I do want to add in there, the median price point in Eagle, Idaho is actually $860,000. So it's much higher than most people anticipate. However, when you go to Boise, the Ada County area in general, the median price point is actually closer to $540,000. So with that being said, just something to know as far as housing goes, Eagle is much more expensive than Boise and other surrounding areas. So the next one is going to be an extreme weather. So when I say extreme weather, this isn't necessarily saying that it's Antarctica or the Sahara Desert, right? We're saying that it does get extremely cold at times and it does get extremely hot. So for some people, for example, the ones that come from California or Miami or Orlando, where it's consistently, you know, in the 60s, 70s, very nice temperature, not too much of a breeze, not too much cold, not too much heat. They come here and then they experience their first winter and it's absolutely bizarre. They come here and they get 3-digit, you know, weather, which is not unnormal, which is normal out there, you know, as it gets warmer in the summer, but you do get all 4 seasons, which most people aren't typically prepared for unless they've lived in that type of environment before. So that's really all the pros and cons I'm going to go through in this video today. So I hope this brought you guys some value, and I do want to reiterate that I am a licensed real estate agent and I would love to help you guys with your home buying needs. If you're preparing to relocate to Eagle, Idaho, please make sure you guys reach out to me. Here's my phone number and email. Once again, I am the one that answers all phone calls, text messages, and emails. So please don't hesitate to reach out. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment if there's anything that you would like me to dive a little more into. And with that being said, I will see you guys on the next video.